Welcome, everybody, to a very historical day. And you're going to find out in just a moment why I say that, because we have Tom Morey on the line who's going to teach us his UNS, Universal Numbering System, which is going to change the world. And welcome, Tom. First of all, let me say hi to you.
Well, thank you, Patty. Very nice to hear your voice.
Well, nice to hear your voice, too. And so we also have, if you're watching today, we have Tom's oldest son, Sol Morey. Welcome.
Aloha. Thank you very much. Pleasure to be here.
Hey there. Good morning, my dear son.
Morning, Pops.
And he's coming in from Maui, Hawaii. So welcome. Different time zone. And now we have Action Jackson going to take the class today. Steve's in New Jersey. So welcome, Steve.
Thanks for having me, Tom. Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here. I look forward to hearing what you're about to teach us.
Yep.
Hello there, Steve. Nice to hear your voice.
Yep. So this is going to be historical. We have people joining us already. So thank you all for joining us. If you want to make a comment, you can go over to the comment bar, and you will come in as a Facebook user unless you signed up as a StreamYard user, and they're not going to send you any promotional stuff. But if you want us to see your name, maybe put the ticker across the top when Tom's speaking, that'll be great. So that's basically what we're going to do today. And so we're going to jump right in and first ask Tom, what is the universal numbering system? Can you tell us that, and what the purpose and how it came about and all that?
I will try.
Okay.
Patty, the world, as you know, is full of miscommunication because there's hundreds of languages, there's scores of languages and hundreds of dialect problems. And number systems are not much different. There's dozens of different number systems, and you've seen some of them, the English version of the Latin version of and then you see the Roman numerals, which are distinctly different, and then the ones that are in the Asian countries are kind of sideways to the ones in the European countries. So I was a math major, and I was always confounded basically with arithmetic, And as an elementary school kid, I make a 3, and the grammar school teacher teaches me, no, my 3 is backwards, and it's got to be the other way, and my 4 is backwards. And I'm also told that my M is something looks like a 3, and all this kind of stuff that a little child has to go through in order to get to arithmetic even. So I took it upon myself to try and figure out if there is a better way to depict numbers, and in fact, is there a better way to depict letters, our letters of the alphabet, or any of the other letters? We're told this alphabet is capitals and the other one is lowercase, and that these are words, these are letters, and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to jump right to the letters. I mean the numbers. Instead of, and this is casual. This is just off the cuff. But instead of having to think in order to do simple arithmetic, think about having 10 symbols, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and the combinations of them, a 1 and a 0 in the second column, 10, a 1 and a 1 in the second column, 11, and so forth. And all the way up through millions and billions with all these different columns. Let's just start with the simplest possible stuff. And the simplest possible stuff is that you put a dot on the paper someplace, and you are going to write your numbers to one side or to the other side. We could write it above and below, but let's just talk in terms of side to side. We put a dot down, and we're going to just talk about to the left of the dot for whole numbers and not decimals. To the left of the dot, you can put symbol that we use for 1 or for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 0. We can use these 10 symbols, but I'd like to boil it down to just a few. And the few are that for the notion of 0, for the notion of nothingness, we draw a simple upside down curve, not a big wide curve, just the width of a normal letter of the alphabet. Just a small upside down curve. It doesn't have to be half a curve. It's just a piece of the curve. As in, if you hold your hand up with the palm up as though you had a jewel in there, or a silver dollar, and there's something in there, and then you put your hand upside down and it dumps out. It's empty. That is a great symbol for the notion of emptiness, nothingness. That's an important, extremely important symbol to have in a number system. Is anybody there?
Yes, everybody's here.
Okay, I'll continue.
I know we're being
Go
quiet.
ahead,
This is very good, thank
Yeah.
you. So now we got our upside down curve for nothing. Now, the idea of one, of a single thing, because everything is all interconnected, we can go into the philosophy of there being anything that is separate from something else, and that all gets too hairy to talk about. We're going to just skip that. So the next symbol that we're going to use is a simple straight line, and we're only going to use a few symbols. We've got the upside down curve for nothing, and we have a simple straight up and down line for the idea of one. It doesn't have to be straight up and down because it can never be. But just sort of casually, if you make a mark, like Patty, if you call off how many of there are every time you see one, and I write them down, I'm going to end up making you're going to say now, or this here, or now, or something like that, and I'm going to make a mark. And I'm lazy, I'm going to make the simplest mark I can make. The simplest mark that is significant. Not a little teeny dot that I cannot find later, but just a significant mark that kind of goes pretty much straight up and down. That is one. That's one because I'm defining it as one. And because of what I've just said, it's simple and so forth. The next symbol we're going to use is we're going to use a circle. We're going to use a circle that's pretty big. I'm just going to say that much about it. And we're going to draw our circle starting at the top and come around through the bottom and up again to the top. And we're going to call that 5. We're not going to call that 0 anymore. 0 means nothing, and the upside down curve is what we're going to use to depict that there's nothing there. It's been dumped out. That's the symbol for nothing, is the upside down small curve. And the symbol for 5 is a full circle. So we have a 0, we have a 1, and we have a 5. Well, guess what? We're pretty much done. Because with those 3 symbols and the dot, we can write every number in the universe. Here's how we do it. We're going to skip 2, 3, and 4 for a minute. We're going to go 0, and then 1, and then 5. And we're going to skip now to 6. And we skip 2, 3, and 4. We're going to skip to 6. To make a 6, you draw your 0 from the top around and up to the top again. And you then come down about halfway, like a clock, like the hands of the clock. you draw all the way up to the top, and then draw the hand down to the middle. So you got 0, 1, 6. You got 5 is just a circle, and 6 is a circle with a line down it that goes down to the middle. For 7, you draw 2 lines. You come all the way around and up to the top and down to the middle, and then you casually dash off to your right with your pen, your pencil, your crayon, and you come off to the periphery of this clock, and you stop exactly right there, or you stop short of it, or you go beyond it, because you can't stop that easy. Doesn't make any difference. If it's got that little V shape inside of a circle, we're looking at a 5 with 2 in it, and that's a 7. I know I'm skipping around. Let's go to 8. You go around the circle, you come up to the top, you go down the middle, you come off to your right, and you stop short of the outside, or you go beyond the outside, or you stop right there beyond or short. Doesn't make any difference. You just go around and down, and then you come off to the right, and then you come down again. So you got like a lightning bolt inside this circle. So you have a circle with a lightning bolt in it. That's 5 and 3. For a 7, you got a circle with a little V in it. You got 5 and 2. For a 6, you come around and come down, and that's 5 and 1. That's 6. For a 5, you just come around and stop. That's a circle. Now we've covered everything except 4, 3, and 2. And for 2, you simply come down for a 1 and up at some angle, up as far as you want. So there's 2 of them. Now that's 7. For an 8, you come around and then you go down and up and down again like a lightning bolt in a circle. That's 8. And for a 9, the last one, you come around and down all the way to the bottom, and then you come all the way across in a new stroke from side to side, so that if you look at what you've got, you see you'll have 4 arms, and that's a 9. Now, that is basically enough symbols to combine to depict every number in the universe.
Beautiful, Dad.
That's it.
Okay, so let me just say, let me just bring in some comments here. Number 1 is I have been showing 1 through 10 as you were talking, and so people could see, you know, left to right, 1 through 4. It's really kind of almost brilliant how each one has, like, for example, 2 is just 2 bars in a V, comes down to make 7 really easy. So as far as like the universe, you might say, in learning this, it really says to everyone, this is easy. This doesn't have to be complicated. You don't need a PhD to do this. So thank you so much. And let's just get some commentary going here. Sol, it sounded like you had something to say.
I just wanted to express to Dad that we were following him via one of his images of the numbers, something off of his iPad, so that visually we could all partake in it. But as always, Dad, as a visionary, does really well explaining things without having to have paper and pen.
Absolutely. What about you, Steve? How did that go for you? Steve Jackson, how did that go for you? I think he buffered out there for a minute.
Honestly, I think the numbering system is fascinating. To start.
Well, that is really a shame that you're not coming in. Stand by for just one moment. It sounds like
There he is.
it's like rain. Something. Let's read Jonathan's comment here. It is the ruin in a way, Viking style, also cuneiform text. Yes, that is a good analogy for sure. So let's review. Let's go back because we did this an amazing amount of time. I mean, I literally thought we were going to have, like hours and hours on this, but it is so brilliant that we can even start using it now. And aren't you, Saul? Aren't you using it now on some things that you're about to launch?
Yeah, even now I have a white hat on, and I use my marker to draw the numbers on there. But in the embroidery world, we have our logo coming out on some hats, and underneath we have, because of the celebration of the 50-year anniversary and using the Baha'i date, which is BE, the Baha'i era, we're now moving into 178. So I've kept the 1, the 7, and the 8, and then BE next to it as a part of the underside of our logo, so that people will, in the future or now, be able to reference what we're doing, when we're doing it. But it also is a bit of a code for those who are in the know. So even my mom says, don't let too many people know, or they're going to know my passwords, when she writes them on paperwork.
Yeah, that does make sense. All right, so let's go back up to the actual numbers here and go over it. Tom, while you're on the call, I will just say that everything from left to right through 4 is showing, and then 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 is showing in the screen right now. So if there's anything that you would like to say about those numbers.
Yes, there is.
Okay, cool.
I'd like anybody that's listening that could have a piece of paper to write down some numbers that we know with our old system in the new system.
Okay.
And here's one number, for example, is 1492. Now, we know that's when Columbus supposedly discovered America.
Right.
We disregard the fact that Vespuccian discovered America.
Yeah.
The Indians already had America, but 1492.
Okay.
Okay, and just write it in regular numbers someplace. Then write that 1776. 1776. There's another number. Okay,
1776. Okay.
Okay, then you write down 2001.
2001.
When was 9/11? What is that? That's
2001. Yeah.
What was the month of what?
9/11 was September 11th.
Of
2001.
9/11, 2001.
Okay.
Is that what it was?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Now write down an important number that's a real relationship in the universe, and that is the number for pi.
Pi. Oh.
That's the ratio of a circumference and the diameter of a circle.
Okay.
And here's that number.
Okay.
You ready?
Yep.
3.141592, and then put a bunch of dots thereafter, because it goes on and on forever.
Okay.
So
is this our test?
No, it's just your own little exercise.
Oh, okay.
That you can start to see that it's pretty easy to write these things down.
Yes.
I may have left out some important factors, and I skipped over this pretty fast.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing that
I'm here to help.
Yeah, I think the thing that's going to help everybody the most is as we go into the year of the boogie board and 50-year celebration, you're going to see more and more of this universal language showing up on some products, on various different merchandise and stuff like that. So if you were here today, or if you were listening to this later, you are on actually a historical call, because this stuff is moving forward now. And as many of you know, Tom is a futurist. He likes to work in the future, likes to see things in the future. And so this is something that you're going to see in the future. And thank you all for joining us. Let's get back to our numbering system now. Okay, so you do want us to write out what a 1492 looks like? Is that what you'd like us to do?
Well, you could do that if you want. If you have any problems with it, any comments would be appreciated.
Okay, I've got one right off the gate. All right, so I see the 10, 1 through 10. So when I write 1492, do I write 14, which would be, the 10 and the 4, or the 1 and the 4, and then 92, or is there a number for, 1,492?
You write 1492.
Okay, so you just write it as one of these symbols. There's not like a 1,000 symbol or anything like that. Somebody's showing me something here. Let's see what we got. It's Steve.
Well, I can tell you this. There's the symbol for 10, of course, is a 1 in the first column, and a 0, a nothing, not a rind, not an upside down curve. 1 and nothing.
Right.
Is 10.
Okay.
And it lays in two columns. And if you're going to write 100, you have a 1 followed by 2 upside down curves, 2 empty containers.
Okay, 2 empty containers. Okay, that's 100.
And you got to write 1,000 as a 1 with 3 of these upside down curves.
Got it. Okay.
And if you're going to write 10 million, you're going to have a lot of upside down curves.
Right.
And what you end up doing is you just hook them together so they go.
Oh yeah.
Bump, 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 bump,
yeah, a little bump, 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 bump. Okay, got that. All right. I hope
everybody. You can put commas in there between every 3 of them, like you do. See?
Okay. All right. So I hope those of you that are with us are understanding this, and if you're not, you can go back to the beginning. We're keeping it short, so it'll be a nice little historical moment with Tom. We definitely want to have more of these in the future, because there's a lot in that man's head that we want to, get into. So.
Extract, make it painless.
That's right. This is great. All right, Steve's showing up something else. He's showing us his homework here. Hold on a second. Let's see what Steve's got. All right, so Steve, could you bring it closer to the camera? Can you bring it up closer to the camera? Yeah, because I can barely see it, but I'm sure in the video we'll be able to see it better. There we go. Okay, so Steve's done a good job there. We'll correct your test later. Steve's written down all those numbers, Tom, that you have.
He's got it.
He's got it.
Good.
Look at, he's laughing. Yay.
Good.
I'm trying to run the back office over here, so I wasn't able to do the test, but looks like Steve passed. You're an A student, Steve. You're good.
Well, what I'm often finding is
thank you.
When I'm trying to do something online, I can use the V, as far as I might put a logo, and then I want to put 01 or 03 in normal sense. Now I'm using 0V for my 2, but what we don't have are these other symbol. We have the plus sign, but we don't have a 0 and a plus. But I think we can make an app, a font app, where you can download your computer or what have you, so that if you go into that mode, you can use and put symbolism of this UNS system to your applications here in the future. We'll make that available.
That's awesome. No, seriously, that is awesome.
Here's a really exciting part for the commercial aspects, is that every football player, jersey, soccer, baseball, hockey, every jersey with a number on it could be printed this way with these symbols and better viewed. Because let's say I'm watching the Patriots and number 68 is running out for a pass. Well, I can't really tell if it's number 68 because I can't really read those numbers out well. And if I'm upside down, if I'm out in space and there's a satellite nearby with a 9 written on with the old system, well, I really can't tell if it's a 9 or a 6. This happened to me. I went into a motel in a strange town, and I had been given the key number 9. I went to the door, and I tried it, and it didn't work, and a guy hollered at me from inside his motel room. Hey, what are you doing up there? Well, it was the key number 6, or was it? I forget what I'm saying here, but
no. But Tom, how many times
9,
have most of the people that are on the call, mistook a 6 for a 9 in our numeral system? I can think everybody could say yes to that. So yeah, go ahead.
Right.
Or even a 5 because it all looks very similar.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the idea is to be able to use these numbers casually with because you don't always have accuracy, and you'll hear it in your own voice in your communications. Somebody says something and you say, "What?"
Yeah.
Oh, well, I thought you said bed. I thought you said fed.
Yeah.
And all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
We should have.
And isn't that the idea?
In our language, we should have no problems.
That's
No.
the idea, is to have better communication.
Better communication.
Not that we're going to solve them now, but my minister in the church, my congregational church minister, told me, boys, it's better to light one candle than curse the darkness.
Ooh.
Wow.
And that is so apt that we have a lot of ways to be critical, and we have so few ways to get things right. So we work on trying to get things better, and not 100% better if you can't do that. But if you can get a little better, well, you do that. And little by little, we work the problems and come out of the gloom that we've been plunging into recently.
Yes.
Well, I don't know. I don't want to stay on too long.
Well, no, you're absolutely perfect timed. I was trying to keep this right around 30 minutes so people can look at it later. Once again, it's going to go up and to the platforms where we can save it, and put it in the history books. So I want to thank you, of course, Tom, for always sharing some of your knowledge with us, and your son, or your number one son, I call him Boogie Son, Soul Morey, here with us, launching some universally numbered products this year. Really excited to hear about that. And also Steve Jackson, who told me earlier that he wouldn't miss this historical moment for the world. So thank you, Steve, for coming in. And it is very historical. And
you have a sense you have a great sense, Patty, of drama and history and reality. You really do.
Well, thank you,
Tom.
Tom.
So Dad, appreciate your friendship all these years, and we hope to continue.
Yeah, we're going to have some fun this year because this is the year of the boogie, and we're going to boogie, and we're also going to share that knowledge of Tom's. I told him that probably the most valuable thing that he's got right now is the ability to call in like this and talk to us. And once in a while, we'll get him up on video. But I want to thank all of you. The numbers probably were one of the best numbers I've seen on video. And I know we're going to have a lot of people later watching this. So like I said, I want to keep it right at about 30 minutes. We're about 45 seconds away from saying goodbye. So, Tom, goodbye to you for today.
Adios for the moment.
Adios. Steve, thank you once again so much. And Soul, thank you.
Yes.
And we'll see you all and talk to you. Be sure and go over to boogie50years.com and sign up. Be a part of the celebration for this year. And we'll see you and talk to you on our very next episode.
Bye-bye.